Cast. Hello everybody, sorry we had a poor wireless connection. I wasn't sure if we were streaming. So my name is Anne Russell and I'm from the Russell Family Fetal Alcohol Disorders Association. The RFFADA is an organisation that supports parents and carers living with FASD. We also lobby the government and do some training. We train all over Australia. So if anybody wants any training at all, please give me a call, 0412 550 540. So today we're going to talk about FASD and sensory dysfunction. Some of this information is from a resource booklet called Learning Through the Senses. Sensory processing occurs through each of the senses as they are used. A child can be oversensitive or undersensitive. Because there's a lot of information to get through, we'll just deal with the oversensitive side of things, and you can sort of extrapolate what undersensitive might mean, or ask online or email me. We can have a talk about the undersensitive side. The senses that we're going to talk about are auditory, visual, vestibular and touch. So a child with an auditory processing has normal, or an auditory processing dysfunction, has normal or corrected hearing but difficulty processing the information that's heard. It may become evident to the family by the higher than average volume on the TV or the radio, or music's up too loud. It may also be seen in children who seem to take a long time to answer questions or process an instruction. This is because the child has difficulty distinguishing and interpreting meaningful sounds from unimportant sounds. To support a child with auditory processing problems, we need to reduce the noise at home and in the classroom. Additionally, reduce the chance of any unpredictable sounds occurring because they can actually cause anxiety. And by unpredictable sounds, I mean the telephone ringing, children yelling, the clinking of glass, the doorbell, anything like that can cause a child who is oversensitive or who has sensory dysfunction to become anxious. Perhaps you could place mats underneath glasses and try and make sure that the child's workplace or room is free from any of those sorts of distractions. Even the ticking of a clock, a big clock, can be a distraction. Headphones can reduce or eliminate some distracting sounds, allowing the child to concentrate. If he is overwhelmed and you need to speak to him, a soft rhythmic voice can help. A quiet corner of the room can offer comfort and will allow the child to refocus and reorganise his thoughts. Visual processing is similar. The child has normal or corrected vision. By corrected I mean glasses. But they have a problem processing what they see. They may not be able to respond appropriately to visual information. He may find bright lights or being out in the sun too intense. To be comfortable, they may need to wear sunglasses or a hat that blocks out some of the light when outside. He may also find it difficult to distinguish an important item from background or discern the difference between similar objects. It may cause him to mistake letters of the alphabet or confuse left and right. One of the strategies to help children with this problem is to reduce the number of distractions in the home or in the classroom. Clear desktops, no extraneous border decorations around the whiteboard or blackboard. Place the child's desk in the front row to avoid distractions from the other children, and reduce the intensity of the light around the child. And change expectations that the child will or may not complete work in the time frame that other children do. Vestibular processing. This is the way we maintain our balance and coordination. With a deficit in this area, a child may overreact to vigorous or even mild movement that most children enjoy. You know, the throwing up in the air and the twirling around and that sort of thing. They may react unexpectedly to that sort of movement. He may move awkwardly and be uncoordinated and clumsy. He may also sprawl or stoop and present as being tired all the time. Ideally, a sensory program would provide him with opportunities to develop his coordination skills. Offer activities which can develop his gross motor skills, such as riding on a skateboard while lying down, perhaps using a static bicycle, you know, those exercise bicycles that just sit in the room and you pedal away, or some other form of controlled movement, gradually introducing the more fine motor sort of skills after he feels more confident in the gross motor skills. Watch for uneven surfaces, cluttered desks, messy rooms, and provide supported seating. So always reward for effort and success, and this is true for our kids regardless. Any child with FASD is going to experience a lot of failure, so we need to make sure we reward at any possible time, particularly for effort. Children with FASD in general rarely receive praise for their achievements, and children with vestibular processing problems will seldom be praised for physical skills. So touch processing is the ability to interpret sensory information via the skin. The sense of touch is closely linked to the part of the brain that is vital for survival and is responsible for the flight and fight reaction. It therefore plays a part in our emotional state. Children with touch processing problems often have emotional and behavioural difficulties. It means that the child will be oversensitive to sensations that do not distract other children. This child may prefer to touch rather than being touched. He will avoid getting his fingers messy with glues, sand, soil or paint, dirt, that sort of thing. He can be very sensitive to certain fabrics, so will not wear certain clothes. Tags at the back of t-shirts may cause him problems, and to avoid that sort of thing, underclothes can be worn inside out, so there's no seams or tags against the skin. He can react quite negatively to a light touch and aggressively or emotionally to a bump. I think we've all heard about that before, particularly in terms of criminal justice system, where police may roughly handle a person if they've got FASD, if they've got this touch sensitivity, then that's where problems can escalate at the time of arrest. He may also have a strong dislike to having his hair shampooed or combed, and may walk on tiptoes to reduce the sensation on his feet. It will help him if you can identify the types of fabrics that cause problems and avoid them. Any Play-Doh or texturized toys that cause negative reactions should be avoided. Encourage him to touch a range of objects with different textures, but don't force him to suffer a stimulus that causes him discomfort. Introduce sensations gradually and predictably. Unpredictable touching is likely to cause Sorry about that. So unpredictable touching is likely to cause discomfort. Introduce sensations gradually and predictably. Unpredictable, I've already said that. Undersensitivity to touch creates the tolerance to pain that many children with FASD experience. Now, one of the issues I've been specifically asked to discuss is toilet training. The toileting environment can be modified for a child with this sort of sensory dysfunction. Make the toilet as quiet as possible with soft toilet paper and soft lighting for oversensitive children, and bright lights and music for undersensitive children. Consider a padded toilet seat. For a child who has difficulty feeling the sensations of needing to go, encourage him to use the toilet on a schedule, maybe every hour to start. Talk to him about where he might feel that sensation. Does he think he'd feel it in his arm, or his nose, or his ears? So make it fun, but make sure that in the end he knows where that sensation is likely to be felt, or is felt. So that's all. If you have any questions, please talk to me online. My email address is elizabeth@rffada.org. Any questions, if I can help in any way, please let me know. And next week we're going to talk about lack of motivation. Again, if you or your organisation would like professional up-to-date training on FASD, please let me know. And don't forget, press the button on the top of your phone to subscribe to this channel. Thank you very much.